Hello everyone. Today we are going to take a session on the part 2 of our information security governance, which is domain 1 of CISM training. I have already uploaded part 1 in my YouTube channel. You can go check it out, and then you can also view the part 2 part. Um, my name is Devashish, and I would be conducting your session today. And this is, you must have also reviewed in the part 1, so I'll quickly go through the domain. So domain 1 is 17%, domain 2, which is information security risk management, that is 20%, domain 3, which is information security program development and management, that is 33%, and domain 4 is information security incident management. Though domain 1 has the least amount of weightage, we still have to be very particular, and we still have to learn more about it, because this is the foundation domain. If you understand the foundation, you will be easily able to understand all the other domains. So what you will learn today, today we are going to cover the topics which are left in domain 1, which we haven't covered in our first video. We are going to cover organizational culture, organizational structure, RACI chart, roles and responsibility, regulatory and compliance requirement, information security strategy overview, information security strategy development, information security strategy objective, and then there would be some question and answers. So stay tuned for the question and answers and how we are going to solve the question and answers for domain 1. So let's talk about organization culture. So what is a culture? So culture is basically how the organization operates. What is the behavior of the employees? So to build a security aware culture, we have to depend on our employees. We have to depend on our job roles, and to build that, we have to make sure that each and every employee understands their role in securing the information, in making the organization more secure. Okay. And talking about indicators of a successful security culture, the information security department being brought into projects at the appropriate times, and users knowing how to identify and report incidents, organization ability to identify the security manager, and people knowing their role in protecting the information assets of the organization, and integrating information security into their daily practices. So how do we achieve this? How do we make a security aware culture? Is basically through awareness training, through phishing exercises, through trainings which is targeted towards various roles, like information security personals know about their roles in information security. The IT personals know about their roles in the IT and how they can secure the information. So similar way, each and every employee of the organization should know their role, and how to report, and also what information they have to secure. Okay, I hope you are able to understand the culture and how to build a security aware culture. So if in exam any question comes regarding how to build a culture, so basically it would be, the answer would be either on the security awareness training, or mostly on the security awareness training, and the second could be senior management commitment. So please remember these 2 points. Then we would talk about organizational structure. So basically on the right hand side, you can see a diagram. This is a basic structure which most of the organization follows. So we would have board of directors, which would include key investments, key investors, owners, major shareholders, etc. And then there would be senior management who would be the CEO, CTO, CFO. They would be they are called CXOs. And then there is individual management unit, like there would be finance head, IT head, business head, etc. So enterprise governance depends on the responsibility and accountability from all participants. So all these participants should know their responsibility, should know their accountability, and that's the key to, have a good enterprise governance. And this also would help in understanding how enterprise works and how the strategies are built and how the strategies are implemented. And every employee should understand the organizational hierarchy and structure, and they should know whom to contact when. And by understanding the hierarchy, they should also be able to understand how the organization works, who are the stakeholders who would influence the information security strategy, etc. Okay, so after understanding the organizational structure, there is something which is called a RACI chart or a RACI matrix, which stands for responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. Uh, Within an organization, you might have heard about this RACI matrix, which says about for a particular task, who is responsible, who is accountable, who is consulted, and who is informed. So responsible means main operational stake to fulfill task and create outcome. Okay. This can be delegated or shared also, and this would define who would drive the task or who would get this task done. So if there is any process, any SOP, we would have all this defined: who is responsible for this task, who is who would do the task, who is it delegated to someone, right? And then accountable. Accountable means the ultimate responsibility, the ultimate accountability would be for that particular team or person for task completion. Okay, this cannot be shared or delegated. And who would be accountable for any success or failure of the task. Okay, so responsible would be the person who would actually perform the task, and accountable who would be the person or a team who would be held responsible or who would be held responsible for the success or the failure of the task. Okay, he has the ultimate responsibility to get this task done. And then consultant is the team or the people who would provide the input for the task, and he would he would provide expert opinion or any particular consultation about a particular task or process. And then informed. Informed are the people who would just be informed that these are being done. Is there is an achievement or there is a deliverable which is being performed, there is a process which is being performed. They just like to be informed, and they just wanted to know what and how the things are being done. Okay, so I hope I'm clear about this. So everyone is able to understand the RACI chart. Let's move to the next slide. So mapping roles and responsibility to skills. So what is a role? A role is a designation assigned to an individual by virtue of a job function or other label. Okay. And what is responsibility? Again, as we have understood earlier, a description of some procedure or function related to the role that someone is accountable to perform. Okay, it is clear by these definitions. And then skills. Skills are, uh, you know, skills are can be get skills can be gotten through expertise, training, experience for a particular job function or for a particular process. And this comes with experience, this comes with expertise, this comes with formal education, training. Okay, this is like you can get a certificate from uh, by getting formal education or college, but skills you can only get it by performing that task, by working on that task, by doing an implementation, or by running a project of that task. Okay. So how do we map roles and responsibility to skills? So first we need to understand what is the role, what is the responsibility, and then according to that we will understand the role, and then we will map the skills according to it. For example, if an organization wants information security GRC consultant, so first he will understand what is the responsibility of the GRC function, and then they would understand if the with the responsibility they can understand about the role, like it is a entry level role, it requires an experienced person, or it requires a consultant. So according to that we'll align the skills. Like for entry level roles we might look only ISO 27001 certification, but for managerial roles we might require CISM, CISA, etc. So similarly, skills are being mapped, and then according to that, we we would hire the people. Okay. Okay, here are some roles and responsibility. So board of directors, they need to be aware of information asset risk to those assets and their criticality. And they are always being provided with a high level view of risk assessment or BIA. Okay, they won't go to the detail of anything. They would only have a high level view, and they need to exercise their due care in protecting key assets. So once they understand which are the key assets of the organization, they would prepare the policies, they will prepare the procedures according to it. They would not prepare, they would define it for you. So they might define the objectives of the organization, and then accordingly the process would be prepared and the procedures would be prepared. Then we have steering committee. So steering committee is very important for the exam perspective. So steering committee is all comprised of senior management. So just remember, it is always comprised of senior management, which would be the head of different business units. Okay. It's not the CEO or CXOs or the board of directors. It would be head of different business units, and their objective is to ensure the alignment of security strategy and with the business objectives, and their responsibility is to ensure that security strategy is followed, and the business objective is followed. Okay. So next is senior management ensures needed function resources are available, ensures resources are properly utilized, promote cooperation, arbitrate when needed, and set priorities. Okay. Then we have business process owner. Developing effective infosec strategy requires cooperation of the business process owners in integrating the strategy at operations level. Okay. So when you build a information security strategy, you always have to, you know, take a buy-in from the business process owner, because business comes first. Often information security is looked as a barrier to business, and but that is not true. So but any which ways, you have to make sure you are aligning the business process owners, because they are the ultimate owners of the any processes. What information security is going to do, you want them to run a secured business process. So for that, you need to understand their requirement. What is their requirement to run the business? And then accordingly, you need to prepare the strategy. You can't just go ahead and prepare the strategy and you tell them that you have to implement XYZ technology and tools, security technology and tools. You have to understand if that tool would be able to integrate with their process. Okay. And then build a strategy accordingly. Okay. Just one second. So yeah, this also helps in the cost effectiveness of any InfoSec strategy. And that's the reason we include business process owners, senior management to the security steering committee so that they understand what strategy you are building, how you are going to run that strategy and integrate that strategy in the business function, and is it being followed or not. Okay. Then we have a Chief Information Security Officer. Some smaller companies there, you might not see an official position for CISO because they might fall under CIO or CTO, or they might be called as CSO, Chief Security Officer, because they are also managing information security and physical security. But ultimately, the CISO should report to CEO directly. But mostly in some companies, you know, it is being reported to CIO. But then again, that is not recommended by ISACA because security is often seen as a constraint on the IT. So, always it is recommended that CISO should report to the CEO to build an effective security program for the organization. Okay. So then we have some business process owners. Sorry, this is incorrect from my side. It is other risk management roles. So these are the risk management roles: board of directors, senior management, chief risk officer, chief information officer, information security manager, system and information owners, business and functional managers, security awareness trainer. Why are these called as risk management roles? Because these all roles would help you to manage a risk effectively and efficiently within an organization. Okay. So next is regulatory and compliance requirement. So what is regulatory requirement? Regulatory requirement is the laws and regulation of the land. Okay. So each uh, geography would have their own laws and regulation, would have their own government, and according to that we have to follow the laws and regulations. So we cannot just take um, or follow any regulatory requirement as per our need. We have to make sure that we are following the law of the land. Okay. So you might get some question around this also, that if uh, some company is working globally, and in one country it is following certain regulations, will this applicable to the other country also or not? The answer would be no. So we have to change our strategy according to the geography in which the organization is running. Okay. So as you can see, establish different security strategies based on the region they operate. So first of all, we have to understand our regulatory requirement, the organization's regulatory requirement. In this depends on the geography. This depends on the type of business they are running. This depends on the environment in which the business is running. Okay, accordingly, the security strategy should be set. Accordingly, the policy should be set. Okay. So, for example, if I take this Privacy Act, okay, Privacy Compliance Act. So for UK people, we have GDPR, but for some countries like maybe if I talk about Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, we don't have any Privacy Act. Even in India, we didn't have any Privacy Act until last year. So last year we had passed a act called DP Act. So that is regarding the privacy in the digital area. So that is how regulatory requirement differs from each country too. So if you are operating a business in United Kingdom, so you may have to follow very stringent rules for privacy of any person, for the data which you have, the PII data which you have, but for uh, in a smaller country where there is no PIA law, you might not have to follow those restrictions. Okay. Similarly, compliance is, you can treat compliance as any other risk. This is also a risk to an organization. So you have to make sure that you are able to meet the compliance. So when you are meeting the regulatory requirement, you have to make sure that all the compliance for this regulation are being met. And most of the organization nowadays are using automated GRC tools to maintain the comprehensive catalog of legal and regulatory requirement and then follow it, because tracking it manually might can be a tedious job. So most of the organization tend to follow an automated tool. Okay. Okay, so let's move to information security strategy overview. So the objective of the security strategy is the desired state defined by business and security attributes. So always the objective of the information security strategy is to achieve that desired state, which our business has defined, which our business goals, according to our business goals and according to our organizational strategy, we have to define our security strategy as well. Okay. And then we have to plan the strategy to achieve that goal and how we can implement that goal as per our business environment. Okay. So, and also to make a security strategy, I have told you earlier also, there are few things which we need to keep in mind. First is our organization goals, and then our organizational strategy, then our regulatory and legal requirement. Okay. So according to these objectives, we have to prepare our security strategy and according to our business environment as well. Okay. So uh, the strategy provides the basis for an action plan composed of on one or more security programs that, as implemented, achieve the security objective. The same thing as I have told, that in the strategy we need to provide a step-by-step action plan how we are going to get to that desired state from our current state. So we can do a gap assessment, what is our current state and what we want to achieve. We need to do a gap assessment, and then according to that gap assessment we need to build a strategy how we are going to achieve that desired state. So it might not be able to do it within few days or months or a year. The strategy should be of a longer time, like how where we want to reach in another 5 years. So how we are going to reach in another 5 years, because there are a lot of investment, there is a lot of changes which needs to be done to achieve that to that state. So that is not easy. So we have to build a roadmap, we have to build a plan accordingly to it. Okay, and yeah, that's all. I have already informed you earlier that we should be considering a legal and regulatory requirement, and we also need to do some monitoring. So for the if the security strategy is being followed or not, this is being monitored by our steering committee and CISO. That's the last point. Okay, this is how we are going to develop a security strategy. So as I have said, first, we have to ensure we understand our business goals and our business objectives. Okay. So once we understand our business goals and objectives, then we have to understand what is the information security goals and objectives. Where do we want to reach in terms of information security? How much secured environment we required according to our business? What are our regulatory requirements? What are our legal requirements? So accordingly, once we have the objectives, then we can understand the current state. Okay. Once we understand the current state, what technologies, so always if you are trying to build a strategy or build an ISMS, uh, uh, there is one term called PPT, which is people, process, and technology. So we have to analyze our people, our processes, and our technologies. What kind of people we have, or do we have all skilled resources? How many numbers of resources we have who can help us in driving our information security goals? Then what processes do we have? What business processes do we have? How do we secure those processes? What are the how the processes are being run? And then the technologies which we currently have. And then so by understanding our information security goals and objectives, we would already understand our desired state, where we want to be. Okay. Once we have done this assessment, the gap assessment, then accordingly we would understand that what is our requirement, how many people we require, what skills we require for our people. Uh, one second. Yeah. What skills do we require for our people? What are the processes we need to improve? What is the technology we need to adopt? Like nowadays there are a lot of technologies, XDR, EDR, SIM tools. There are a lot of AI integration, automation integrations, and we have different DLP tools. So all this we need to, depending on our strategy, depending on our goals, we need to understand what kind of technologies we require. What is the cost to own this, like total cost of ownership of these tools. So accordingly, we'll build our strategy. Okay, the strategy would we consider all these PPTs, and then they would build a plan how we are going to achieve. Like everything cannot be done at one go, right? There would be a lot of investments, and business can go bankrupt if they do that investment at one go. So they would make a year-on-year plan. This year we are going to achieve this. This year we are going to achieve this. So that is a part of strategy. And then again, strategy should be aligned with our business goals and objective. If the business goals and objective changes, the strategy also changes. Okay. I hope this graph makes it very easier to understand how we are going to develop our information security uh, strategy. So you can understand if the question asks about alignment, then it is always being aligned. Information security goals and objective is also aligned with business goals and objective. And similarly, strategy is also aligned with the same. Okay. So what are the objectives of good information security strategic? So number one is strategic alignment. As I said, it should be aligned with our business objectives, business goals, our business strategy. Then information security goals, information security objectives. Then effective risk management. So information security always, the ultimate goal is to reduce the risk, information security risk of the organization. So need to do effective risk management. So we'll understand more about effective risk management in domain 2. Then value delivery, which we have understood in our the first part of the video. Resource optimization, optimizing the current resources to make use of it and achieve more out of it. Then we have performance management. We also need to understand the people, processes, and technologies which we are using, how to measure their performance. If they otherwise, we would do the investment, but we won't get the outcome which we require. Okay, and then business and assurance process integration. So is our if we can integrate the strategy within our business and assurance processes or not. Okay. Okay. So I think that's the end of today's session. We'll quickly move on to some question and answers. So okay. Now let's talk about the first question. Which of the following is the best way to strengthen the alignment of an information security program with business strategy. Okay, we just discussed, and this kind of question you will definitely get in the exam. Okay, so what it is asking, the best way to strengthen the alignment of information security program with business strategy. Okay, now option A is providing organizational training on information security policy. Okay, this is more on building a security aware culture. Okay, increasing budget for risk management. Okay, so increasing the budget is never a solution. Okay, if you are not utilizing the budget effectively, it is of no use. Okay, if you are doing risk assessment, increase the budget for risk assessment, and you are doing continuous risk assessment, but you are not mitigating the risk, and you are not trying to reduce the risk, it is of no use. So first of all, increasing the budget won't be answer for any of the questions. Okay, we have to understand what is our requirement. Our requirement is best way to strengthen the alignment of an information security program with business strategy. So increasing the frequency of control assessment, okay, that's also irrelevant. Next is establishing an information security steering committee. Okay, what I said, that what is the goal of steering committee? That is the goal of steering committee is to make sure the strategy is running as per the information security program is running as per the information security strategy, as per the business strategy, because we have people from the business, we have people from the IT, we would have different people from different business processes as part of steering committee. Okay, so if we are establishing a steering committee, they would always be able to make sure that your information security program is aligned with the business. Okay, if you are saying that I need to implement certain XDR or certain technology which will enhance our security, business would analyze that if they have the budget for it, if they're in their strategy, they want to implement that technology or not. Okay, so accordingly, steering committee would be able to tell them that, yeah, you are allowed to do it or you are not allowed to do it. So they would always make sure that it is aligned, information security is aligned with our business. Okay, so this is the answer, option D. Okay, let's move to the next. Okay, which of the following is most important constraint to be considered when developing an information security strategy? So what is the most important barrier? Okay, when we are building a strategy, what is the most important constraint? So, and option A is legal and regulatory requirement. We'll come to this later. Then we have B, which says establish security policies and standards. So established security policies and standards should not be any constraints. Okay, we would be building the security strategy according to already established security policies. If there is any changes we need to make, we will do that. Compliance with an international security standard. Why would we, you know, may keep this in consideration in international? Our businesses, if it is running in a multinational company, as a multinational company, it is running globally, we still, our first preference would be our local security standard, local regulation. Okay, this is not a constraint, this is good to follow, good to have. If we are having an ISO, if we are having a NIST certified, it is good to have, but it is not necessary to have, it is not a constraint. Information security architecture. So this is again irrelevant. This is not constraint. Architecture can always be changed as per your strategy. Okay. So option is the right answer, which is legal and regulatory requirement. So as per our legal and regulatory requirement, we have to develop an information security strategy, as I mentioned earlier. So if the legal and regulatory requirement is strict, then our strategy would also be strict according to them. If it is very lenient, then it would be also lenient according to it. Okay. So answer is A. Let's move to the next question. Which of the following is the primary responsibility of an information security steering committee composed of management representation from business unit? Okay. So again, they are asking about primary responsibility of our steering committee. And as I said, it is always composed of representation from business units like business process owners, business unit owners. Okay, so option A is perform business impact analysis. So this is not their responsibility to perform business impact analysis. It is always information security professional who will do this, or the particular business process owner who would do this. This is not overall responsibility of information security committee. Monitor the treatment of information security risk. Okay, this looks promising. We can keep it for now as a park. Oversee the execution of information security strategy. Okay, this also looks promising. We can keep it as park. Then manage the implementation of information security plan. Okay, so it says manage the implementation. So the steering committee is not going to manage the implementation. They are always going to oversee if it is implemented as per the strategy or not. Okay. Implementation would always be being done by information security manager. So in exam also, if you encounter such question, first you have to just cross out which are not applicable. Then you will be able to answer it properly. Otherwise, many times most of the answers would look correct if you read it once. But you have to first read the question carefully and then understand each of the options. So we can cross this because this is a job role of information security manager. So now it is from B or C. So it says monitor the treatment of information security risk and then oversee the execution of information security strategy. So this point C would subsidize point B because it says oversee the execution. As I said, that the primary responsibility, it is asking the primary responsibility. Okay, primary responsibility is to always see if the information security program is aligned with the strategy or not. And they could, why I have crossed B is because it's saying monitor the treatment of information. So it um, maybe the primary responsibility, it could be one of the responsibility, but not, it is not the primary responsibility of steering committee. They could see if the risk is being treated or risk is not being treated. That's a different part. That is part of the risk register or risk review meeting. When they are doing the review meeting, they would check that. But the primary responsibility is always align with the strategy, uh, align the information security program with the strategy. Okay. I hope I was able to make the answering of the question a bit easy for you. So you can always keep this in mind when you are going through the exam. Okay. That's all from my side for today's video. Thank you so much for joining my video. Thank you, everyone. You have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.